Good morning and welcome to Kiwanis Connects. Wow, it's a wild Friday all over North America right now. But I just wanted to say, if you're tuning in right now, thank you for being here. I know that you have a lot of other choices and what you could be doing on your Friday morning, afternoon, and evening out in the Philippines. And so thank you for being with us here today. I have a couple of special guests, but my most important special guest is Miss Melissa with Mental Health Moments. And so she's waving at us over there. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I know that our voice in the background is going to keep popping in. So, John, can you say hi?
I'd be most happy to say hi.
Well, thank you, sir. As you can tell, there's only two squares on the screen right now, and that's because Aaron is in Orlando. And I really know he wishes he was actually in Las Vegas in studio with Melissa because they got hit by the hurricane pretty hard yesterday and last night. And so Aaron's been kind of stuck in place right now, and his golf tournament was canceled. So he's going to probably pop in at some point in time, but know that you're with us. And if you want to call in and talk with us, please do that. Please chat in the comments. John, what is that phone number? Because I don't have it right in front of me, but I know I should.
That phone number is 702 992 3207.
Woo, woo. And
Operators
so you can
standing by.
operators are standing by. All right. And so for many of you, hopefully you're aware that September is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's also Suicide Prevention Month. And I know it's a host of other things, Melissa, but what kinds of programs have you guys been working on with your moments?
One of the things right now that we're really trying to create and tailor to is with the upcoming holidays. We want to be able to put out content and resources for navigating your mental health around the holidays. And the more and more people I talk to, I realize not only how important that is, but how different each of us is and what we have going on in our lives, how we're navigating it. So we want to be able to put out, I believe it's October 10th or 11th, but it's World Mental Health Day. So we want to be able to launch our campaign and really focus on that. Hi.
Awesome. Well, there's Aaron. Woo-hoo. Hi,
Hello.
Aaron.
Hello. Can you all hear me okay?
Absolutely. We were just talking about what Melissa's doing and all focused in on. Because one of the things I noticed the other day when I was walking through Costco, and this really upset me, was that Christmas is already up. And so they are selling Christmas decorations, and they were selling Hanukkah decorations because Hanukkah starts on Christmas Day. December
Yes, it's
23rd.
very late this year.
It's really late this year. So I can tell you, I've been triggered. I can't even imagine how other people are dealing with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, it's good to see you guys. I don't mean to digress. Sorry for the delay. We are having trouble getting connected, but I'm glad I was able to jump on courtesy of Hurricane Helene, which of course, as everybody knows, was barreling through. And of course, I picked the best time of the year to come down to Orlando to host a golf tournament, which fortunately got postponed. So I've just been sitting around, just kind of waiting for the storm to pass through, which allows me the time to join two of my favorite people, three if I count John back there in the studio, but I don't want to count him. But of course, my dear friend Melissa, my dearest friend Val. So yeah, the holidays, it's funny down here. Shops for Disney souvenirs, of course, is like a dime a dozen. They're like CVS's on every corner. And so I am starting to see holiday decorations, Christmas decorations starting to trickle in. And of course, as we know, Halloween starts showing up on shelves in August, right? Valentine's Day shows up at Thanksgiving. And for me, what I feel most bad about is the holidays have become such a commercialized industry. No matter what holiday anybody practices, it's just so commercialized that I wonder if it takes away from the significance of what the holidays were all about.
Yeah, I bought all my Halloween candy about a week and a half ago. And now I have to go buy more.
I was going to say, do you still have it? That's the thing. Oh,
Well,
my.
I think that, and I loop it back to Kiwanis. I think that if we follow some of these moments and think about the steps that people may be going through, we can actually make sure that the holidays maintain their significance because you focus in on one holiday at a time. And so while you may have done all of your holiday shopping for the winter season on Amazon Prime, in June or July, you still need to stay in the moment with people. And so, as our Kiwanis clubs are getting ready to start their new year, October 1, they can start thinking about how to do the programming that's necessary so that there truly are one holiday at a time.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You talk about Amazon Prime, and I think Melissa, listen, Melissa, do you like Prime? Are you a Prime purchaser?
Oh yeah.
So you guys know that October 8th and 9th is another
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime coming up, but you must be an Amazon Prime member. Usually the other one, Val, that you talked about, if you have any kind of Amazon membership, but this one, 8th and 9th, is specific for Amazon Prime. So for those who want to take advantage of that for the holidays, you can just sign up for a free Amazon account, and then whatever you can then upgrade for whatever the membership cost is to his Amazon Prime, which I'm a proud member of because I got to see my Giants lose a really bad game last night to the Cowboys, and take advantage of all those sales for the holidays like you were just talking about. So 8th and 9th, mark your calendars, just in time for Halloween again.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to put out there as well. Last year, we ordered 1,500 stockings for the kids in Maui. And so we did that all through Amazon. So knowing that if you're ordering things and you're going to get stuff that you want delivered for Halloween, you need to do it within the next week because Amazon's going to be backed up due to all of the storms and everything. So it's going to take up to 2-3 weeks for things to get to you. You want to be prepared because I know that not being prepared causes a lot of anxiety. So now that we've done a true plug for Amazon, and I'm hoping they'll send sponsorships.
That's right. We'll send them a bill.
I'm sending them a bill.
Yes, please do, John. Please do. Send them the bill, and then we'll give the mental health moment 10% if they ever pay. How's that?
Absolutely.
So if I may just play catch up, I'm sure did you open up reminding everybody where they can see us and all that good stuff? I'm sure you did.
I did it only on the phone number, but why don't you do the whole thing?
All right. Well, of course, being late to the game, we all know you can watch us, and you're watching us all on the Kiwanis Connects Facebook page, but of course you can watch us on the WWDB TV Las Vegas. Don't forget those 2 words, Facebook page, and of course on YouTube, Kiwanis Connect Show and the WWDB TV page. You don't need the Las Vegas on YouTube. And then in a couple of days, whenever John and his son Sean decide to get around to it, they'll upload the show to Roku. That's right, the international streaming service. I believe it's number 3, right behind Netflix and Amazon Prime. You can not only catch all of the Kiwanis Connect shows and, of course, the plethora of shows that are available on the entire network. And, of course, right now, call in 702-992-3207. It's scrolling right along down here at the bottom of the screen. Look, I can do it this way when it's in front of me. See, I can show the number. Here it comes, slowly coming across the train. So what was that TV show where that ball bounced over the words that you used to sing to it? Anyway, now I have to admit, yeah, exactly. During the commercial break, I will have to look up some bad dad jokes because I was not anticipating being on today. I was supposed to be on a golf course, so I'll have to look up bad dad jokes because I won't miss that. But anyway, so it is the end of Good Morning Delia. It is the end of Mental Health Awareness Month, September, right? This whole month, we have a couple more days, right?
It's more so focused for suicide prevention.
Okay.
And really, that is coming to an end with September. But one of the things I feel like I'm constantly reminding people is your mental health is not just about one day. It's every day.
Absolutely.
And it looks different every day. So, and that's okay.
Absolutely. And I noticed a statistic that really started me thinking when I was really thinking about how this month has gone. And it was every 40 seconds, someone attempts suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Every 40 seconds?
Is that accurate, Melissa?
I'm not gonna. I would say that that would fall in line, and it's very heartbreaking to think of that kind of statistic, especially with So that's why I seriously, with the mental health moment, that's what we're trying to do, is really just show people that they're not alone, and
Mhm,
that they're
mhm.
not going on this journey alone. We each have a mental health journey, and we each have a choice and a decision to take care of ourselves and our mental health. And so I want to empower you all to do it, because it's not easy, but it's what's needed for
So
sure.
let me share this. Let me just share this information. As I was typing to look up some of the suicide statistics, and this information is coming from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And of course, there is a Nevada chapter. Our good friends Mia and Michelle, want to shout out to them. We've been involved with them. Suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the U.S., according to this article. This was information reported by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Data and Statistics Fatal Injury Report for 2022. So it's been a couple of years, but still, I can't imagine that it would be that far off. So back a couple of years ago, it was the 11th cause. 49,476 Americans died of suicide. And in 2022, there was an estimated, hold on to your hats here, 1.6 million suicide attempts 2 years ago.
Wow.
That's 14.21 attempts per 100,000 individuals.
Right. And those are just the ones that are reported. That's the thing
absolutely.
that just blows my mind. That when you realize that some of the people that haven't reported it, but have gone through the process, it's probably double.
And I would also say that there are so many people who have either, attempted or have thought about it, and they are just holding on to that inside. And that's heavy. That's really, really heavy. And I've had my journey with suicide, and it really can just take all of you and take everything out of you. So one of the things I feel like I've been saying to my girls too is, you really never know what someone's going through. So keep in mind that we're all just trying to, by moment, get through the day. And there's so many people you probably run into who are having a really hard mental health day, having a really hard mental health moment.
And it's really important, I think, that as we're talking about this, is to understand that it's everybody. There's no profile. And I wanted to share something with you guys, because I had shared before the shows came on, for those who are watching us. This is a very emotional one for me. And part of it was I had a flood in my garage. And so the flood in my garage led to me going through 30-year-old and 40-year-old papers and all of my old diaries. And in one of my diaries was my 16-year-old self. And my 16-year-old self was pretty much at the top of her game in high school, and would go on to be a Hall of Famer for her high school, and nominated for tons of awards. But at that 16-year-old stage, I had already tried to attempt suicide, and no one noticed.
Wow.
And so there was a month of conversation of no one noticed, until my debate coach looked at me and she goes, "You're different. Why are you different?" And part of that conversation in my my diary was, I wish that someone would just say hi to me. I wish that someone would hug me and not always criticize. That's my 16-year-old self. And I think about, if I, who had two parents in the household, no matter if one of them was a not so stable human being, and other family members there, who supposedly on the outside, on the top of their game, is feeling that, what are our kiddos feeling like? What are they facing? Because I have said over and over again, I'm not sure, Melissa, how you feel about this. I would hate to be a 16-year-old girl during this time. I don't.
I am so scared for teenage years. Like, I am, for many other reasons, but even just right now, for example, like, one of the things for us is really trying to get mental health into schools and wanting people to start that conversation of feelings, emotions. It's, it's okay. The whole saying of it's okay to not be okay, more specifically, is understanding that you are going to go through waves, and there is you don't just keep going up. Once you go up, you will go back down, and then you'll go back up, and you just have to understand that that is the ebb and flow, and that's how everyone's trying to navigate their mental health daily. And thank you for sharing that of your 16-year-old self, because I wrote down one of the biggest things for us is doing the inner work and doing that healing, going back, and you reading that, for example, you get to see how, like, where you are at, where you're at now, and what you went through. And it's just, I appreciate you sharing that. That's awesome to just be able to look back at that, but also to bring awareness to it, because you can just be kept in silence and feel like so alone. And at 16, I would say you're just not. I mean, I'm not fully stable now, and I'm 34, but like, I'm still trying to figure out my stuff. But if I had to really think about it, like, I look at all of the younger kids, 16 and younger, and I'm like, wow. Like, on top of it, they're having to navigate social media and how that kind of weaves in to their lives that's a huge mental health piece also.
You know what? While we're talking about this, I just want to remind our viewers as they're watching, open up another tab. Don't close this one, because then you'll not hear bad dad jokes at the end of the show. But go to another tab, and I want you to log in and connect with thementalhealthmoment.org, which is, of course, the organization that our dear friend here, Melissa, started and is the proud founder of. We did this last time we were on the air with her, Doc Val, and I want to remind everybody that right now you can go to the page, and across the top of the home page, any page that you'd like to, you can simply just click on the word donate. You land on the green landing page. There's a quick little video there from Melissa reminding everybody that you are not alone on your mental health journey. Click that donate button. John's going to put it up on the crawl, because I was, for some reason, copy and paste, so my wife's little note Chromebook wasn't working. Right now, look, you've got a goal of $20,000 on the webpage. We have $303 right now, which was doubled from where it was when we did this the last time together. I would love to sign off of today's show hitting $500 while we're here on the air to help support mental health in general, but of course, suicide prevention, to support people like Val, who wrote it in her diary about it. And I'm sure that, if you took a room of 100 people, I wonder what the percentage of people of the 100 would honestly say, yes, I've thought about it for one reason or another, because never followed through with it. But, we all have those days where we go, maybe suicide, I got to, all that stuff. If we know somebody who we lost because of suicide, make a donation in their honor so that we can prevent the next person from going through with the act. Okay? So go on there right now, click another tab, and go to thementalhealthmoment.org, green landing page, which is ironic because green is the color of money. So click that little donate button in the upper right-hand corner, make a small donation. We only have $197 to go to hit 500. Come on, folks. I know things are, listen, and you talk about stress, and Val, I messaged this with you. You and I texted during the week. When we got here in Orlando, the storm was rolling in, and we got back in time on Wednesday from grabbing a bite to eat. And as we walked into the property, there was a family, mom, dad, a young gal, their daughter, and two little dogs that I think were about as big as this. And they got in the elevator with us. And, we were just chatting. We thought they were there. And I asked them a question about their floor that they were going to. And they said, we just got here because we were told to evacuate our home because of the storm, that they had just gotten the deed to 2 weeks ago after losing their previous home to the previous storm that had come through. So you talk about bad days, and Val, that's what you had said to me in my reply. We think we had a bad day and we get stressed, and here these people had to evac a home that they just got into after losing the previous home. And now they're just literally, you could just see the concern on the wife's face as we were talking. So folks, we all have those moments, and let's prevent others. It's like you said, Val, if someone would have just said hi or smile, and I was hoping to have run into them while we're on the property, because I would just go buy them a drink and say, it's okay, we're in your corner. We did tell them thoughts and prayers, and we hope the best for you and your family. So, okay, if it's okay with you guys, you want to step aside for a quick break so I can catch my breath because I was late, if that's okay.
Absolutely, let's do it.
I'm trying to catch up. I'm so sorry. You're watching Kiwanis Connects with our good friend Melissa Atwell, the founder of the mentalhealthmoment.org, and of course, the incomparable Dr. Val. I'm the voice coming from Orlando, staying dry. Fortunately for today, I think we're going to dry out a little bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program called CARE takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Thanks to the efforts of the Cal Neva District of Kiwanis, there's been a Kiwanis presence in the Rose Bowl Parade for more than half of the New Year's Day Parade since 1921. In the past, our efforts were funded through club sponsorships, outside sponsorships, by the generous donations from Kiwanis members or club foundations sponsoring riders on the Kiwanis float itself. The District Rose Float Committee handles fundraising, and the Kiwanis Rose Float Club secures and organizes the volunteers. When Kiwanis International wanted to sponsor a large portion of our float, momentum from our clubs was lost due to any fundraising. The time has come to have our clubs increase their involvement in the fundraising efforts. But the Rose Float Kiwanis Club needs the help from all Kiwanis clubs, its members, and businesses to answer the call for support. Visit our Kiwanis Rose Float page on Facebook. Help make sure that Kiwanis International will let the world continue to smell the roses for a long time.
Hey, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. I'm very proud of that closing line in that commercial. I was just like, kind of, how do I smell the roses? Anyway, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. We are focusing in on mental health awareness, suicide prevention, as the month of September is coming to a close. As it is, September is generally recognized as mental health awareness. Melissa Atwell, founder of the Mental Health Moment, the mentalhealthmoment.org. And of course, my dearest of friends there, Doc Val, looking good in our Kiwanis Connects jersey. Melissa, I got to hook you up with some swag. That's what I got to do. And actually,
Absolutely.
I did manage. I always screw this up. I did happen to have one of my shirts with me because I was expecting to wear this today for my golf tournament. And so just so happens to work out that I can wear it today. So look at that. All right. Val, take it away. I'm going to throw it back to you to keep the conversation going instead of me boring everybody.
You're not boring us at all. It's that's why I was so excited because it's been a couple weeks since we've been on together.
It has, yes, traveling and everything. And the original plan was for me not to be part of today's show, but Mother Nature had other plans for us, I guess, and said, you know what, we're going to rain out the golf tournament, although the organizer of the golf tournament is currently in the other room in my hotel suite right now. And I hope she didn't hear that, so that this way I can be on with you guys talking about something that's just as important, if not more so.
Thank you. And it's like whenever I see Melissa, I'm such a fangirl because I follow your page, and some of the hints and tips that come on your page are really, really helpful. I share them, across the different Facebook pages that I have, and I think that it reinforces for me that mental health and mental health care is not just during September; it's every day. And I saw one of the things that it's a tool that I would love to challenge people to use, which is your mental health bingo. Do you remember posting the mental health bingo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I actually, one of my board members is the one who's creating all that content. So I'm going to just relay back to her like that you have seen it and enjoyed it, because I've had people comment on it and say, thank you for putting this stuff out. And it has helped a handful of people with the responses that I have read. And the bingo one, that one was a good one.
And are
And
there other things that you would recommend that are like that, where we could start a Kiwanis meeting with something that's 5 minutes where people do a check-in, and can think about what a new challenge might be? Because what I'm going to do, I have my next meeting where I'm the president of the club on the 8th of October. And so I'm actually going to do the mental health bingo with everybody. I'm going to hand out those. And so for over the next couple months, it'll be each month you need to fill in a square. And then when we finish filling in the square, I have a prize for them. And so I know incentivizing your mental health is kind of a weird concept, but I sometimes believe that's what we have to do.
I don't think it's weird at all, because it's not talked about as much as maybe I would like it to be. But I feel like the more you put it out and just are open minded
Mhm.
about it and talking about it, it shows other people that that's a safe space and they're allowed to be open and talk about it. They're allowed to heal along with us healing too.
Absolutely. Aloha, Douglas. Great to see you. I think I get to see you tomorrow down in Diamond Bar. Um, so as we're looking at this, and you had talked about, you share this with your kiddos, right, on a regular basis.
Oh yeah.
You have conversations. So how do you start a conversation with someone that's looking at you going, I'm not really sure I want to talk to you today?
Have an 8-year-old, beautiful looking daughter step up to you and say, "Sir, are you having a stressful day today?"
Oh my goodness.
That's exactly right,
Really?
Melissa.
Yeah, at the walk.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that was right. That was
exactly
Reagan.
how it started.
I think the biggest thing for me was I realized how much I didn't know growing up, and kind of how sheltered I was, and everything kind of always seemed like it was like hidden from me. And I don't think I even learned the word mental health until I was like 21, and like really understood, okay, there's mental health and there's physical health, and they both work together to produce what we want to be and throughout the day. So my biggest goal with this has always been to show my girls that it's okay to have hard days. It's okay to not be 100%. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to be sad. I wanted them to understand that your emotions aren't a negative thing. Your feelings aren't a negative thing. But if you can like be aware of it and really like kind of call it out with yourself, then you're able to move through it and feel it and then keep going. And I feel like one of the things a lot of us do, and I will say me, is we hold on to things so long, especially, previous things that have happened to us in the past, and it slowly just takes us out. And I mean, for me, I've had moments where I have focused way too much on things in the past, things I can't change, and I've gotten sick, like physically sick. And I think one of the main things I wanted to really show my girls is that physical health and mental health have to work together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And in school, for me, I look at it and it's like, okay, we have PE, which is amazing. Like that's amazing. Why not also have mental education too? And being able to recognize, anger. And I think even that word anger, I think some of us look at that word as like a negative word, but it's a feeling and it's a real emotion, and we all feel it, and that's okay. It's just a matter of what you choose to do next and what your reaction is.
I'm so glad you said it that way, because in the statistics that I was sharing before, talked about that men commit suicide almost 4 times more than women do. And it takes me back to my mom will have been gone 24 years this upcoming November. And I took it very hard. And us guys, we don't share our emotions, right? Men generally don't get all weepy and teary eyed. And unfortunately, my zodiac sign's a Cancer. So I have to wear my emotions on my sleeves. It's written right there in the bylaws of being a Cancer that you have to do that. But after struggling with the loss of my mom, it took me a while, and quite frankly, a push by my wife and a friend behind the scenes to help me realize I needed help to cope with the emotional loss of my mother. And I was dead set against it. And no, I don't need no help. I know I can do this. And, a lot of guys, we get heart attacks because we keep all those emotions and stresses inside. I went to a counselor that was offered through the company I worked for, and I hated it because the second appointment, they had me bring my wife with me, and it became a marriage counseling session instead of focusing on me. And we got in the car, and I almost ripped the steering wheel off the car. I almost broke my hand because how upset I was. It took me another year before I realized I still needed help. And from that point forward, with some changes, though, I to this day still work on having help. I'll just leave it at that. So it does take a lot. And Melissa, you know the story, and Val, I know you know the story about what kind of help I'm still using today. So it does take a lot to step forward. It's like any addiction. We're addicted to keeping those emotions inside. We're addicted to saying, "Oh, I can handle it," until we break. And that breaking point is where we go over the edge, where we lose ourselves, whether it's in that anger moment or the Hulk moment, as I like to call it. When my mom passed away, a dear friend of the family said to me, "I would not want to be within 100 miles of you the day you decide to blow up on everybody." And he's right, because I know the bottle. My dad's like that. My dad bottles. My mom was the open book, and I'm trying to be more like my mom even over the last 24 years. So the old saying, accepting you have a problem is the first step to recovery, right? So whether it's the emotion, the stress, the mental, whatever it is, once we accept and it's okay to talk about it and it's okay to deal with it and it's okay to get help, it's okay. And it's okay to go down those paths. Sometimes the best thing to do is talk to somebody you don't know. It's hard sometimes to talk with your friends because they have this perception of you and you don't want to disappoint them. I call bullshit on that, folks. Go to whoever you need to. Talk to somebody. Talk to the three of us sitting here right now on your screen. John is not on screen, but I know you can talk to him. Douglas and all the names you see that show up in the chat rooms. Please talk to somebody when that stress is there, and don't become that teapot that's going to continue to boil over until you can't do anything about it. I'll step off my soapbox now. Thank you for listening. Tip your waiters and waitresses on your way out. No, I'm only kidding.
I'm going to jump right onto your soapbox. And part of the reason for stepping on the soapbox is because growing up in my skin, there's always been a stigma that Black people don't go get mental help. And that's just not what you do. And I know that in other cultures, it's the same thing. You keep your dirty laundry at home.
That's right.
And you don't share the family secrets. You don't share the family stories. And that stigma needs to be blown out of the water. I have my cousin, Deborah Cox Howard, out at the University of Arizona. She has a license plate called Mind Duck. She's another person you can go talk to. But she was one of the first African-American counselors that I had ever really run into that I trusted. And that's because she just is, versus the person that I was told I had to go to after being in a mass shooting incident in Colorado at the University of Northern Colorado. We all were told we had to go get counseling. And the person I went to, she goes, "I know, you just need to tick off the boxes. You're smart enough to deal with all these things by yourself."
What is that about?
Yeah. Did you call your mom? Did you talk to her? Okay, you've done what you need to do. Versus another one of the hall directors had a 7-week course and got to bring in his wife at the 7th week to talk about why this was affecting his relationship at home after being held up at gunpoint. And so to me, we need to get rid of the stigma. Mental health is health. Yep. You go to the dentist. You go, for those women, we get our annual exam, and you need to go to your mental health specialist. That's just what you do. It should become just what you do.
Absolutely.
Okay, my turn.
Go ahead, John.
All right. The one thing that we need to change in this country is the perception of healthcare.
Is your microphone on, John? Because you're sounding very tinny on my end.
How about now?
There you go. Thank you.
All right. So what we need to change is the perception of mental health. A lot of part of the reasons that a lot of people don't seek mental health is, what if my employer finds out?
Mm-hmm.
What if my friends find out?
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, I know I went through that years ago. It's like, well, screw that. I'm not gonna, I'm not going to get help because I'll lose my job. They'll think I'm crazy or whatever. And so, that's where we need to focus effort and energy as well. Is that whole perception. And I see it changing. I mean, we are making some inroads, but we need to kick it up a notch or two, right, Melissa?
100%. And I think really honing in on the fact that asking for help is not weak. Asking for help does not make you anything less. Actually, to me, in my eyes, like, that is a huge step. That's brave to be able to ask for help. And I think for the longest time for me, I looked at a therapist. I go to two therapists now, but I looked at therapy as like the same thing. I grew up with brothers, so it was like, man up, like, you don't figure it out. Like, we don't have time for this. And so I was very, very, like, turned off, I guess, with therapists when I first started. Fast forward 10 years later to now, I have been able to heal so much and just grow as a person and accept, that's the word, accept things that are going on in my life, accept things that have happened in the past. And knowing for me personally, I have ADHD and I have OCD. And those things are not just going to go away. It's more of how I'm going to choose to, one, ask for help, and then how I'm going to take that information and how am I going to manage it and implement it into my life. And there's no one thing fixes all, you know what I mean? Like, there's no handbook to mental health and how we should do this. We're all trying to just figure it out day by day. But I really do want to hone in on asking for help is not weak, and it does not make you anything less.
Like John said, increasing awareness is part of that. And that's why you've been on the show. You've been on my show, Aaron's Hour. You've been on Kiwanis Connects a few times. I know you were on John's show. I don't know. I'm sure there is about doing a show on your own about mental health and all that stuff. But be that as it may, all of these are part of that. And I agree 1,000% with the concept of us bringing it forward. Will make it easier to talk about, much like the way Mary McElhatton does on her show, Permission Mission, about it being okay to talk about the stress of death and talking about it. So totally okay. No, Val, you're good. No freezing. So I need to change direction real fast because I need to say goodbye. So goodbye. I'm going to change, but shut up, John. I'm going to leave you all with a few weather-related bad dad jokes as I say goodbye, and then we'll let you guys finish things up at that point. So with that, weather-related, simply because of where I am or what's going on around me. So here's the first one, ladies and gentlemen. Why do mother kangaroos hate rainy days?
Why?
Because then the children have to play inside. Come on now, think about that now. Okay. All right, I got that one. I don't know if I should go any further. I might just want to leave on that one for crying out loud. Holy cow, I hit a home run on the first joke. I never do that at all. Okay, hey, here you go. Why do women go outdoors with their purse open? Anybody? You don't want to know why? Because they expect some change in the weather. That's why. Come on now.
Yeah.
I know, but I'll leave you with this one, and the answer to this one should be pretty obvious. What does everyone listen to, but nobody believes?
The truth.
No. The weatherman. That's right, the weatherman. That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I am going to send us to break, and with that, when you guys come back from break, I will not be with these beautiful ladies because I have to part for a meeting, believe it or not, regarding the golf tournament reschedule. So I want to thank you for letting me jump in. Love you all, folks. Please pay attention to your mental health and those around you. A smile will make a difference. Go to the mental health moment.org. Make a small donation if you can, please, because it will help save somebody else's life. And besides, then Melissa will love us and love us even more, both Val and I. All right, as always, I'm going to sign off by saying this. Be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. Kiwanis Connects will continue right after this.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDB TV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here. We've had callbacks here. We've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space. Chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program called CARE takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. I wanted to do a shout out to my friend, Argentina de Villanueva. Argentina, I'm sorry if I didn't say the last name right. I know that you have been through a lot, so you inspired our show today as it's being Suicide Prevention Month, and my heart goes out to you and your family, and I know that you all are some of the biggest advocates for suicide prevention and awareness. So, love you, love you, love you. And if you're ever ready to come on the show and help us help other families, you just let us know because Melissa and I want to make sure that outreach is there for you.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
And so Delia has been sharing everything about what we're doing and that our presence is a light into the world. Oh my goodness, Delia, thank you. Well, so I wanted to share something because a lot of people are going, okay, so what do I do? How can I help? Because we're all action oriented because it helps us get through the tough times. And so our governor, Carol Ferris, she's in the last couple of days of what she's doing, but her district project is all about mental health for our students, especially the mental health overall. And so she is leading the way with a fundraiser to be able to actually provide funding so that different clubs around the Kiwanis world, and especially here in California, Nevada, and Hawaii, can do a program that supports mental health. So what kind of programs, Melissa, do you think a club could do in their area, or what kinds of projects can they work on?
I love that question. And one of the things that we are trying to work on as a organization is creating a program that includes the youth. It includes, it doesn't matter what age, but for the children, and being able to have them and possibly, their guardian, their parent, whoever it is in their life that they're navigating with, that they can both go together to this program and have, let's just say, like roundtables, and be able to talk through grief, be able to navigate mental health around the holidays. And we are still very new. We're baby organization. So I appreciate you for even having me on here because we are so new. But I think one of the biggest and best things is if we can bring people together and are able to be open and vulnerable and create a safe space so that not just adults can see that they're not alone, but so that kids can look around and see not only are other kids the same age trying to navigate this too, adults are navigating this too. Like,
Mhm.
to be very, very real, like a lot of us as adults are having to almost like unlearn a lot of things that we learned growing up, and implement new tools and put new things into place. So I feel like one of the things that reiterating is like, it doesn't matter if you're 2 or 92. Like, you have a mental health journey. Yes, that's going to be communicated in a different way throughout your stages in life, but the age does not matter. But I do think, being able to create a program where we can bring people in person together and allow the child and the guardian or parent, like the space and that safe space to open up and be heard and feel seen. And I did write down one of the biggest things for us, I feel like, as humans, is we want to be seen. We want to be heard. We want to, when we find a safe space, we want to go and talk to somebody about our mental health. But a lot of times what we do is someone will tell us about their mental health, and then we'll want to talk and try to relate back or whatever. And one of the things I've really learned is people want to be heard. And when they choose to come to you as the safe space, sit and listen to them. You don't need to say anything. Eventually you can, but I feel like a lot of things in our culture and in our society, we're quick to cut other people off and
Mhm.
can't really finish a thought or a statement. And we just want to be heard. And so know that when someone does come to you asking, can I share something with you, or can I run something by you, like emotionally, that's their way of asking for help. It might not necessarily be a poster board sign that says, I need help. But in those like subtle ways, people are reaching out and wanting to connect, not only connect, but relate and see that they're not alone. And
Absolutely.
the more we can do that for our younger generations growing up, I feel like the more we will be able to really have mental health embedded into our society, into it, just like anything else. I think you were saying it before, but like, you go to the dentist, you go to the doctor, and there's these, you can see all the physical stuff, but a lot with mental health, it's the internal scars that are there, and those memories. And so, yeah.
It's powerful. And, one of the things that was suggested to me was that when you're sponsoring a foster youth center, or you're sponsoring a senior day or something like that, it's making a vendor table available where there is a resource person that a person can start to connect with. And maybe it's a resource table that has um, mental health matters with a couple of special things on it, or it has the bingo, or it has the 30 things in 30 days that you can do to help yourself, or you have that special child that needs some comfort dolls or those kind of things. But setting up a safe space, and I think that part of it's a safe space. It's also, we're doing regional training conferences for our key clubbers. And so I'm not sure you can envision this, but think about 400 high school students at a camp where most of them have never been camping or away from their home for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What a great opportunity to have a cabin set aside that is your mental health and relaxation cabin, where they can come in and
Yes.
they might be able to do an art project, or they might be able to just sit, or if there's someone that they can just talk to versus being forced to do like boot camp every hour on the hour, something that they need to do. And it be okay to go into that space.
And
There's
not be judged going into that space.
Exactly. Not being judged. And for many of us who've gone through youth protection guideline training, and I've got to let you guys know that's coming up in October. Get your youth protection guideline training so that you can work with students. But don't let it scare you to the point where you don't have meaningful conversations with our students. Don't let it scare you that if a student says, I need a hug, darn it, give them the hug. Because that's what they need. And we become so afraid of other people's emotions that our students are being robbed of that support. And so what would a reasonable person do? That's the standard, right? So what would a reasonable person do if someone's coming up to you and saying, I just need to talk? A reasonable person's answer is you can put your hand on their shoulder and say, okay, I'm here to listen.
Yep. And that's it. And it sounds so simple, but excuse me, for even me, it's one of the hardest things to do is still till this day is ask for help in certain situations, because we feel that, we don't want to burden anybody, or we don't want anybody to feel like they have to take on that emotion or that burden. And I feel like the more we share our story and we get it out there, the more we're not only able to help others heal, but we as individuals internally are able to heal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think what I'm going to do starting on October 1 is I'm going to start my daily campaign. So 365 days of mental health moments on my site so that we can start the trend that says your moments are every day. And each person has an experience that we have no idea about what's going on with them. And the only way we can is to actually say, how are you doing? Would you like to talk?
Yep. I was reading one of the comments on the side over here because last time somebody sent in sensory toys. They sent them to my house so that we're able to bring them next time when we have a booth. So I wanted to say thank you to all the donations from last time. And I saw someone bring it up again.
That's Doug Chadwick at the Kiwanis Literacy Club Foundation.
That would be those kind of donations are so helpful, because one thing I've noticed is at these walks where we are, parents are with their kids, and maybe like a 4-year-old isn't going to want like a mental health sticker, but a sensory toy or a fidget, something like that is huge for them. And if you just want that, so those kind of donations are amazing.
Absolutely. And so you can reach Doug Chadwick at Douglas at theliteracyclub.com. And so Doug, hopefully I did that correctly. But it's really long. So maybe it's literacyclubfoundation.com. So put it in the chat, Doug, and we'll put it out there for some of those sensory balls. At International Convention, we actually gave out a number of them from our booth for the Kiwanis Literacy Club Foundation, because one of the things that I have noticed is that when kids are in emotional crises and they're reading, oftentimes they can't focus. But if they have one of these in one arm and the book in the other hand, they do well. That's why kids will hug a pillow when they're reading, and it just stabilizes them. And so there it is. It's Doug at theliteracyclub.org. And so for me, when I look at all of this, our mental health is part of that whole wellness wheel, right? And before I remember going through college and taking all my counseling classes and all that fun stuff, and mental health wasn't on the wheel. No, it was not on the wheel. And so people were like, if you take care of your physical self, then that will take care of your mental health. If you get some exercise and get out there, and it's like this body does not run only from stuff. It's not running for fun. And so the whole thought gives me anxiety, right?
Yep.
So knowing that, it's like, okay, each person's got to come up with that thing, and you don't have to come up with it by yourself, but try a couple of different ways that help you become stable. And as a role model, if you are going out and you're getting support and you're taking care of your mental health, you can let people know. And it's like that's your protected time. And so if someone says, hey, on Tuesday afternoons at 5, we need to have a meeting, you can say, no, I'm not going to be able to make that. That's my mental health time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Making it a priority is key. And one of the other things, I feel like I've been writing a lot of stuff down. Thank you for the notepad. But the self-care piece, especially, I know before we were talking about mental health and the holidays, the whole self-care and self-love piece. And I know I've heard this before, like, well, self-care is selfish. No, you can't fill somebody else's cup until you fill your own. And I never understood that saying for the longest time. But once once I got to a point a few years ago to depression, and I was realizing that I was trying to give everybody else what I was needing to give myself. And so I want to put the spotlight on self-care, self-love, especially throughout the holidays, because we're already seeing Christmas stuff in Costco. It gives you anxiety, but like it's a stressful time. And I think it's a time that we will just forget about ourselves and kind of put ourselves to the back burner, and everything else will take precedence. So I feel like if we can really, like, and you brought up that wheel before, we need to now wedge mental health slowly into that wheel where it's something we are talking about, not just, a month, a year, but every day. And I really like what you mentioned before. You were 365 days, and sharing a new thing every day, a new moment. I'd love to work with you on that. Like, come up with content and work together to do that. But that's what it is. It's constantly sharing that kind of stuff. And if you can have one person read it and it makes a difference in their life, you might never know, but that you could have saved their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Melissa, let's make it happen together.
Yep.
And every time I talk with you and we're sharing with the world what's going on with our show, the time goes by so fast. And so it's hard to believe that we're almost done. And so I hope if you had a chance to watch us, or you're watching us right now and it's recorded, that you'll make a donation to Mental Health Moment, or that you will write us on our page at Kiwanis Connects. .com and let us know what you're doing that's a positive thing that helps you in your mental health moment. Or ask a question if you need to be connected with some resources and you just don't feel confident about talking about it with people in your local area. We'll get you connected. And so as we go into this last minute, Melissa, what's that one last thing you want to share before we go?
I want to say that with the whole piece of donation, a lot of people are not in a space to donate funds and money at certain times in their life. But if you can share this content, like our last hour conversation, if you can share going on our Instagram page and seeing the, mental health bingo and sharing that on your page, sharing that with somebody, that is just as important as a donation. That is a donation. And that is so helpful. So helpful.
Perfect. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, that you enjoy your weekend. We'll be getting back together again next Friday. Happy New Kiwanis year to everyone who's from Kiwanis out there in the world watching us. And take care of yourself. take care of others, and be kind.
Thank you.
Aloha.